everyone, and welcome to Hangout for Hope, your spiritual pick-me-up that's just the right amount of time for this moment in time. It's a blessing to be with you tonight, and thanks for hanging out with us. But speaking about time, it is that time again. Now, normally, this time is filled with joy and anticipation because it's back to school time. And I have to admit, I love back to school time because I love shopping for school supplies. I love it. I love taking the kids pictures for their first day of school. I love getting haircuts. I mean, things are pretty exciting, but yet this year things are a little bit different. But not to worry. Learning will happen. Learning will happen. And how can I be so confident in this fact? Well, it's simple. Remember the person we talked about last week on last week's program, Mr. Rogers? If you really think about it, Mr. Rogers was a wonderful teacher that taught us wonderful lessons and did it all virtually. Kind of interesting, huh? And not only does that give us reason to hope, but think about it. We have a lot of reason for good feelings and good hope because our schools are filled with fantastic teachers, dedicated administrator and staff. It's really important that we support our school's teachers and administration and staff as much as we support the students. So I hope that you will join me as we pray together for this week, for the next week, and all the weeks following. Please continue to pray for our communities and our schools throughout the year. And especially in these next couple weeks because it's new territory that we're covering here. And with any kind of change comes a certain amount of anxiety. But one of the things I never really had anxiety about when I was growing up, because I always had the same person do it, was getting my hair cut. In fact, yesterday, you may have noticed I got my annual back-to-school haircut, even though I'm not going back to school. But life continues to teach me lessons anyways. I love getting my hair cut because it gives me such a fresh look. But finding the right person to do your hair is always important. I know you know what I'm talking about. I mean, have you ever had to have a new person after a long time be the one to cut your hair? Yeah, that's not easy, is it? I mean, you've probably been through this where you have to get somebody new to do your hair. And you go through different people, and different people, even though they're doing it right, there's still something that just isn't quite right. But then you find that person, that barber, that hairstylist, whoever, that does your hair just the way you imagine it, just the way. And it's everything with the world is right again. My question to you today is, who do you trust with the scissors? Not just for your hair, but for your life. In John chapter 15, verse 2, Jesus says, "Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that continues to bear fruit, God continually prunes, so that it will bear more fruit, even richer and finer fruit." Pruning is vitally important to us in our walk with God. I found it helpful myself to check my life periodically and ask God to show me if there are things that need to be cut off because they're hindering my relationship with the Lord. When you allow God to guide you, when you trust God with the scissors to give you a haircut for your life, I think that you'll find yourself not only looking good, but with a fresh outlook on life as well. Tonight we have a great show for you. Matt Pittman is in the house, and he has a wonderful devotion for you. And also, we have a fan favorite of Hangout for Hope here. Courtney Pittman's going to provide us special music. So stick around and hang out with us. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director of Youth and Family Ministries here at Advent ELC, Matt Pittman.
Good evening. In February, Senior High began a study of Philippians. The theme of the Bible story was joy under stress. You know, high schoolers have enough stress in their lives, even without a pandemic. Little did we know what would come to be in March. I call that a God moment. In Philippians, we find the writer, the Apostle Paul, in jail somewhere, possibly Rome. He says the following in chapter 1. Now, I want you to know, brothers and sisters, that what has happened to me has actually served to advance the gospel. As a result, it has become clear throughout the whole palace guard and to everyone else that I am in chains for Christ. And because of my chains, most of the brothers and sisters have become confident in the Lord and dare all the more to proclaim the gospel without fear. Would you guess that Paul is a half full or half empty kind of guy? Yeah, I would say a glass half full. In his dire situation, with the real possibility of execution, Paul finds the silver lining. He is in chains, and yet he realizes that because of his situation, he was able to share his faith with all those around him, and the brothers and sisters of the church were proclaiming the gospel without fear. The church might not have done that if he was still out in public and free. Now, let's consider our current state. These past few months have been a lot weird. Not a little, a lot. Families have been forced to spend a lot of quality time together. Kids have been looking at screens more and more. Fear has been a constant. We have met and continue to meet online to worship. Families have lost income and security. And the OSU football team is postponing their season? What? At the beginning of this quarantine, I literally was surprised when I saw youth not on Zoom. I forgot they had legs. Here we are, though. Changes happening day by day. Time is creeping while flying past at the same time. Has it really been 6 months? Many of us have probably experienced forgetting what day of the week it is. The day before yesterday, day after tomorrow. I figure that Paul must have experienced some of the time warp as he was in jail. Paul talks about how he is in chains for Christ. We're not in literal chains, but we have felt like a prisoner in our own house. What is your silver lining from this pandemic? I think for me, the most difficult thing about this is that I don't have a clue what the future holds. I created the youth calendar not knowing whether any of it can happen like I planned. Things change day by day. As the staff here at Advent, Pastor Aaron has given us the freedom to be creative and try something new. For myself, I have moved forward in faith and hoped and prayed that I was going where God wanted me to. It was like being in a cavern and they turn off the lights and you're reaching and you don't really know what you're reaching for, or you can't see your hands. But ultimately, we found a way to keep ministry going. The unknown would be one of the disadvantages of this time. An advantage of the pandemic might be that we might find that we have extra time now to sit, pray, be silent, and listen to God more. If we listen to God, He will put before us what He wants us to do. So, turn off the TV, silence the phone, do whatever it is that you need to in order to focus. I encourage myself and all of you to find that quiet place where you can go and listen. It's not easy, but it's worth the effort. And guess what? If we really listen to God, then that will help with those disadvantages that we're struggling with. Let God help you find your silver lining in this situation. Find your joy. While Courtney plays the following song, take this time to pray and possibly start to listen to what God is trying to tell you. Bye.
Sanctuary, pure tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Well, that's it for us tonight on Hangout for Hope. Thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, all are welcome to our Zoom Bible study hosted by me on Thursday nights from 7 to 8 p.m. The link and the password are on our website at adventelc.org. Also, if you have any prayer requests, please send them our way so that we can approach the throne of God together with you. Email us your prayers at adventelc.org. I hope to also see you again either in person or online for worship on Sunday morning, beginning at 10:30 a.m. If you are not here in person, or if you'd like details on what that means, how to sign up for our seat, and what to expect, guess where you can find all that information? That's right, adventelc.org. But until we meet again, this is Pastor Aaron Layne reminding you to take care and to give care in the name of the one from whom all blessings flow. Have a great rest of your week.